And while the state of Alabama continues to wrestle with gambling, Florida has slowly grown into one of the country's top gaming states, but it has not been easy. There are plenty of cases in court right now as the Sunshine State struggles with gaming regulations. Some say it's a cautionary tale for Alabama. Fox 2 News reporter Matt Barentine with that side of the story.
Gaming is an industry that continues to grow in Florida. There's dog and horse racing, jai-alai, an Indian casino, day cruises, charitable gaming, limited slot and table games, and the lottery. Florida has become the most diverse gambling state in the U.S. With all that, Florida has grown into the 6th largest gaming state, but even so, there is no single state agency responsible to interpret and enforce all the laws. That's led to a lot of confusion and litigation. There are currently more than a dozen cases in state courts, many of them to do with the legality of certain slot machines. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
One of the parallels between us and Alabama is that you have basically a body of laws that were drafted a long time ago, not thinking of today's technology.
Attorney Mark Dunbar is a gaming expert and teaches the subject at the Florida State University of Law. He says the confusion in the regulations make it difficult to get convictions, and small, shady operators have taken advantage.
Law enforcement is having real difficulty in Florida right now trying to deal with that. There are actually more unregulated gray market slot machines than there are legal slot machines in Florida.
Dunbar says Florida needs one commission to handle gambling. Right now, several state agencies cover different venues.
We have horse racing.
Scott Ross is the Deputy Director of the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation. His agency covers pari-mutuel racetracks, and he says they do their best with what the legislator gives them.
As we try and work with the industry and work with the stakeholders to ensure that our regulation is implemented fairly and that we're prompt in our responses, and we're ensuring a fair game for the public.
Ross says the division of authority allows his agency to focus on one part of gaming in Florida.
I wouldn't say it's difficult. I would say it's a challenge because there's no one-size-fits-all to gaming regulation.
Dunbar says the division of authority doesn't work in a mature gaming state.
The gambling now outpaces the regulation. Our regulations were drafted for gambling that was really based in the 1930s to 1960s before computers were in place.
Dunbar says the fight in Alabama is even bigger because the litigation in Florida is over smaller operations.
Now, they are not the $87 million Country Crossing or some of the incredibly large venues that have gone on in Alabama, but it's the same problem.
A problem 2 states are trying to come to terms with. In Tallahassee, Matt Barentine, Fox 10 News.
And now there's even more gaming in Florida. Pensacola Greyhound Park opened a poker room back in January.